Guys, welcome to another one of my episodes. You are listening to Farmer Bob, and today what we are doing is we are clearing one of these fields. This, I believe, is field number one, to actually plant potatoes. And yeah, I want to do some potato harvesting today. And in the process, I want to review some of the potato harvesting equipment that is available. Now I've got some mods going, and I also got some original equipment that comes with the game. So yes, we're going to have a look at a few ways of harvesting potatoes and what works and what doesn't work and what is nice and what isn't nice. So thanks for joining in, and hopefully this will be helpful to you in your decisions of what to use to harvest potatoes. Some of the options are good, others are bad, others are stupid, but I would like to just highlight a few of them. Great stuff. So yeah, clearly you'll see that this trailer that I'm using, it's a modded trailer from Kromper, and it's normally got about a 57,000 liter capacity, but this mod gives you 120,000, which for all intents and purposes that I'm using here in this map is great, you know, because it just saves me from running up and down with a little trailer, or for using courseplay to just keep on emptying your harvesters and whatever. But anyway, so there we are. That harvester is now empty. We can park this guy aside, and you'll see I'm using a dolly and also a tractor for the front of it. It looks a bit unbalanced, you know, the big wheels and the small wheels on the dolly. But yeah, let's not worry about that too much. Yeah, our idea is to get hold of that this field number one, so that we can plant potatoes here. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, we are just going to put up this nice class 5000 tractor. We've done a review on this one. If you want to look at our class 5000 review, done a full review on this Okie. This is a bad boy. Well, not a bad boy, but it's a nice tractor, a good tractor, good for all the big jobs that you have on your farm. Sorry man, I'm just having a nice cup of tea here. Normally I love coffee, but at night time, good thing to have some nice tea, you know. Not that I'm an Englishman, and not that only Englishmen drink tea, you know. Yeah, so anyways, so here we are. Guys, let's have a look. What I want to do is I've been using this this nice big cultivator, and I've been cultivating the fields with a few of our reviews on tractors. Here's the 7R that I've also done a review on. If you want to have a look at that, it's also in one of the videos, so you're welcome to check that review out on the 7R. But today we want to just hook up this big guy here and just quickly cultivate the rest of this field. So that is the whole idea, guys. Woo, look at that little, I've actually done like a nice drift. If ever you've seen a drift with a tractor, there you go. We were drifting nicely. Okay, nice, good stuff. So what we're doing now, just want to align this guy nicely. So one thing with this tractors that actually they don't really steer. What they do is if you can look at the axles, what's happening. Oh, mind you, this one's do steer. They've got front and back steering, which actually just moves the wheels, which is actually quite awesome. But the other tractors, they actually split in the middle, you know. Then you've got a front and a back of a front tractor and a back tractor, which you also see on a lot of the JCB, for instance, the front end loaders. They also work like that, you know, with a split end, a split front and back. Anyways, we want to quickly just cultivate the rest of this field. So there you go. Let's put this guy on, and he will continue doing that for us. And then we want to quickly run through with the potato planter. So now I must just find out where my potato planter is. Alright, so let me do that and I'll get back. Hey guys, yes, okay. The idea is to actually plant the field with potatoes, but we just need the potatoes to actually do some tests on our potato harvesting equipment. So with the shock, I actually realized that I have nothing to plant potatoes bigger than 6 meters. The biggest potato planter I have is a 6-meter planter. So well, that's what I have loaded, you know, on my mods list and everything. Actually, I've got a 9-meter Pronto 9DC, which I've actually bought, but it's a mod, you know. It's not really made to plant potatoes. It's quite surprising, which I didn't realize, is the big bud kit or a pack is actually quite disappointing. There's nothing in the big bud pack planting potatoes. I didn't realize that. I thought they've got a potato planter in there as well, which is pretty disappointing. I just want to get these things out of the way. So there's our Pronto 9DC, which is a 9-meter planter. There's our nice little Land Rover for driving around on the farm. And I'm sure my friend here at the shop won't mind us leaving all our equipment here. We will definitely get it out of the way for before the weekend, I promise. Well, it is Saturday today, so the weekend's already here. But anyways, yes, the idea is to actually just sow some potatoes for the test, guys. So that's all we want to do, is just plant potatoes. So it doesn't matter how they get into the ground. I just want to get it quickly into the ground so that we can actually start reviewing the harvesting equipment. So yeah, that's the idea. So without further ado, let's put our John Deere 7.3 or the 7R series tractor to the test, and let's give it a go here and see how it plants potatoes. This is a very nice planter, guys. If ever you want to invest in a planter, there's nothing wrong with this horse planter. It is very good planting, and it's a direct seeder as well, so you don't really need cultivating as well, which is good. But I'm an old school farmer, you know. I love doing things, ripping the ground just makes sense in my mind, you know. Tilling the soil, I mean, if you think of it, even the Bible talks about tilling the soil, which is a good thing, you know. It's a good thing to till the soil. So not only are you turning the good soil from the top to the bottom and including all the stuff that lies on top, which is leaves and grass and all kinds of stuff, you know, that's lying around on the ground. So that gets to go underground and rot again and form new, better ground, you know. So yeah, I love working the ground. And also what's nice is while you're working the ground, you are actually loosening the soil, putting more oxygen in, more air, and giving the roots a softer soil to actually grow in. And I know these direct seeders actually do a bit of tilling, or not that they don't really plow deep, but yeah, I think their working depth is probably about 200-300 millimeters. So you will definitely, without you realizing it, you actually are tilling the ground, because you can see it's got all those little round what do you call it, round blade things that till the ground. Okay, anyways, let's leave this guy and let him carry on planting for us. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm gonna put another tractor on to plant. I've bought another Pronto 9DC just to give us a hand, and this time I'm somewhat putting on the Case Quad Track. Very nice tractor as well. A bit slower than the other tractors, but you can understand why it's slower, because of these quad tracks. I don't suppose you can get too much speed out of them, thinking that they are just like a strap band of rubber. So yes, guys. Let me just see if my speed control. Why is my speed control not working? There you go. Full speed ahead, guys. Yeah, also a nice tractor. Remember I talked about the split tractors with the front and the back end. Well, the quad tractor is a good example of that. It actually has got a hydraulic system that it's actually two halves, the tractor, you know, a front and a back end. There you can see it, it's split in the middle. Running with hydraulics that turns actually the front and the backs from each other, which is quite amazing technology. Anyways, let's get ready with our potatoes here. I'm going to drop it in here. Potatoes, there we go. Here's our 7R. It's planting away. See how fast we can plant this field. I'm going to push this guy quite a bit down. It should have no problem keeping up with that class tractor there doing the cultivating for us. So I think this is probably enough. Let's give it a little bit more like that. How's that? I think that's alright. Okay, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Chuck in the potatoes. There you go. Go, potato planter, go. There you go. Right, so let's see. Here comes our, that's the class 5000 there, doing the cultivating for us. Alright, guys, I'm going to leave them to carry on. Hopefully they'll finish quickly and we can skip to the harvesting side of things. I don't know if you've realized. Look at the speed this planter is planting. I mean, it's totally ridiculous and unrealistic. No planter can run 40 k's an hour planting potatoes. But anyway, like I say, it's a mod. Not particularly fond of these type of mods because it's not realistic, you know. But yeah, just to get the fields planted, it is fun, and just to get it done quickly, yeah, for our test. Okay, that's the whole idea, guys. So now, as you can see, our fields is ready for harvest. First we have to remove the tops, of course, for potatoes, and I think for sweet potatoes too, but in this case we've planted potatoes and we need to remove the tops. But what I've got today for you that we want to actually review is different ways of potato harvesting, or different machines rather. So in front of you you can see 4 different machines, and we're going to start by the smallest of the smallest. There's a 1 meter, a 2 meter and a 3 meter, and then also a ridiculous mod of 20 meters. So we're going to have a look how they all work and see what is best and what is working and what is not working. And what do you think? This one here is a 1 meter machine. Actually I think it's 800 millimeters if I'm correct, and I'm sure it's called an Anna. And if you go into, it's a mod, obviously, you can buy it. It's a Combine Anna Z644. If you look at this boy, it's 0.8 meters. It's 800 millimeters wide. Yes, so it actually only harvests 1 row at a time. You need a small tractor for it, 22 kilowatt. So what we're hooking onto it today is totally ridiculous. We're putting our 7R in front of it. Which is an overkill if you think of it, but I mean the idea is to test it and to see how it's going. Did you see that smoke from the engine? That's quite nice. I like that. Look at that puff of black smoke there. That is quite awesome. Actually want to just check that in real life. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, eh? Okay, anyways guys, let's give this a go. What I've done now is I've actually added the top remover in front. That's from Grimmy, and it's a 3 meter top remover. So as this 1 meter row machine is working, it will actually remove the tops. I think what we should do rather let me just get the small tractor and just remove the tops with the small tractor, because we're not really interested in removing the tops. As this small machines, you actually need to remove the tops manually. So let me just go to the front. Let's detach that boykie there. And what I'll do is I'll quickly get into the Massey. Where's my Massey? I've got a small Massey here for small jobs. There it is. Okay, let's just jump out. Get into the Massey, and very nice little tractor for all-round workers on a farm. It is, what is this, 5613 small tractor. I think it's about 60 kilowatts, 60 odd kilowatts of power, small engine, very nice for pulling small trailers and doing all this nitty-gritty stuff like taking your water to the cows and the sheep and whatever, and also doing this type of thing, and also maybe spreading fertilizer, mowing lawns, whatever you want to do. It's the right thing for the job. So we're going to put this boy to work and let him run. So we don't want to bother him anymore. Let him carry on with that. So we're not going to be fussed. What we want to do is get this guy to work. Now I'm going to obviously use the hire a worker to do this for us, so that we can actually just see how it works. But if you were to do this manually, I can guarantee you will struggle. First of all, you need to keep that center row of, you can see the row of potatoes there in the front. I have it now in the middle of the tractor, so you have to keep that thing like so center on that row. Yeah, you will struggle really. But anyways, let us do the let the worker do the honors for us, and then we can just have a look how this thing performs. That is the main idea. Now I have used this on oh, that's another thing on this machine. You cannot actually put a worker on this. It doesn't work. Let me just try again. I have tried this on other maps and it always have failed me. There you go. It's actually working. Sorry guys. There you can see the poor potato plankies. They are, you see it's actually missing a row here if I'm right. It's what I don't really understand about this machine. We've got it on the thing. It is actually harvesting. It's showing it's harvesting. If you look at the bottom right, it is harvesting potatoes, but yeah, if it's effective, that we will have to test. Now the way to test this, I will show you. So I'm going to let it harvest a few rows, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go over that exact rows with the Grimi, the 3 meter, and just see how effective this thing has harvested potatoes, and if the 3 meter can get more potatoes out of the ground, and what this one has skipped, because that's what we're interested in, is this thing effective in harvesting. I can tell you one thing about this this particular harvester, this 1 row harvester. If you're on a map where the ground isn't even, this thing, it misses so much potatoes, like 30% of your crop you will not be harvesting. If the ground is like not level and it maybe it's sloped and your tractor has to run on the slope, from, say for instance, the slope is from east to west and you have to drive north to south, you will not harvest potatoes with this thing. Up and down, yes, maybe, but not on the sideways, you know, on the, if you go with the contours of the field. Yeah, you will definitely not be harvesting all of the potatoes, but on a flat surface like this, it should be alright. But let's test it. Let's put it through the test and see what it does. Okay guys, I'm gonna let this run for a while, and then we'll catch up after it's done about, say, 6 or 8 rows, so that we can at least give one pass with a 3 meter. Alright. So while this boykie is running, I'll just let us skip this bit until it's gone a bit further. One thing that I have noticed is if we look here between the wheels, I think I've actually started it just wrong. That's probably why it's not harvesting that first row. If you look at the stumps that has been cut off, we are actually only harvesting the second row. So that first row of potatoes we actually missed. So I'm going to send it back down and just see if we can collect that first row of potatoes too, because if you look at the back, it is definitely skipping that left row. Okay, so it is harvesting like it is harvesting the one row in the middle. So yeah, I will send it back to harvest this first row as well. So it looks like it's working effective, but it's very difficult to. So actually what happens is the black lines on the soil is not the row, it's actually the white lines that's the row. So yeah, it's my mistake. I will resend it back. Okay, great stuff. Okay guys, you can see it is actually harvesting that first row now. As you can see, it's actually picking up that first row of potatoes. Looking underneath, it's a bit difficult to really judge. But yeah, I struggled a bit to get the guy to actually harvest. But how's this guy? He's a helper here on the back. He's like checking the row of potatoes. But what an interesting device. How the potato harvester actually works is you've got your front picker that actually tills the soil around, and then it throws it into this big bed with arms that actually just rocks up and down. You'll see, I wonder if you can see it in here. Actually try and see it. There is some arms rocking up and down, and then what happens is your potatoes falls into this big round circle, which just it's bars of that's got gaps between, and then all the potatoes just gets lifted up by this flat plate, and then they fall into this tray and this conveyor that goes into the front section where it just collected. Now this thing doesn't have a big tank or a collection thing. I think it's got probably about I'm not too sure, but the original, this is a mod, but I think the original's got something like 10 or 15,000 liters, but not more than that. We can have a quick look at it. Where is it? Potato harvesters. Here we go. This has got 60,000, but that's been modded, you know, so it definitely doesn't come out with 60,000 liters. I'm sure it was something like 15, maybe 20,000, but not more than that. And this is the Agromet top remover. It's the same thing. It removes the tops, but this is the one that goes along with it. Same company. Okay. Anyways, guys, let's go back to the actual job on hand. But look at the speed, guys. 7 k's an hour. I mean, how long do you think you will be harvesting potatoes with this thing to get this field done? Now it will take days, man, days, because it only does one row at a time. But we're gonna leave it so that it can do at least 3 meters of potatoes. And I just want to, for interest sake, see how clean it did. Did it actually remove all the potatoes? Was there some left? Just to get an idea. But technically, if it's harvesting the whole line, there shouldn't be any potatoes left. But I know for a fact, I've done this on sloped hills, and yeah, but it goes skew and it misses the track, and then eventually you can see you can see the dots where it skips the potatoes, and then afterwards when you send the Grimy over, it collects like 30% more potatoes from which is already harvested. So yeah, on flat surfaces it looks like this one is working. For small fields, very small fields, this will probably be alright with a small tractor, like maybe one of those old Massey's or whatever tractors. That's I've got a few old generation tractors, which like the Universal, there's one. Kramer is another one. The old John Deere's. Small oil tractors, hats. There's a Farmall. Yeah, I've got a few Farmalls as well. These Farmall mods is quite funny, guys. I'll show you one later on. But anyways, here we go. Alright, let's catch up when this thing has done a few rows so we can send over the 3-meter Grimmy over there. Okay. Guys, yes, this machine is as frustrating as that one row sugarcane harvester. Don't know if you've ever tried that machine out. My gosh, it is a real pain in the neck. Exactly the same as this machine. I can already see, I mean, this thing is started at the beginning of the map. It started on this row of potatoes, but it looks to me like it's skipping, you know. So yeah, like I said, whether it's harvesting all the potatoes we will check it out just now. Okay guys, yeah, I've actually finally worked out how this thing operates. If you were to use the helper on this tool, it's not working with the helper. The only way to really do it correctly is if you use Courseplay. You will see that the options for this thing is wrong. I think it's probably in its XML file somewhere. The working width is apparently 100 millimeter, which is it's totally ridiculous, as potatoes is planted roughly about 300 to 400 millimeters apart. If I'm correct, you can help me if I'm wrong. So it's impossible for the working width to be only 100 millimeters. So no wonder this thing is struggling with the helper, you know. So, but anyways, for all intents and purposes, if you look at the working width on the spec sheet for this thing, I think it said 800 millimeters there, 0.8. So if you're gonna set up with Courseplay a course for it to harvest potatoes, you will do better, and then you can actually override that 100 millimeters that it think it is to 800, or you can go and edit the XML file so it's correct. I haven't spent the time in there to see if it's actually there, but I suppose it will be there somewhere on this mod, because this is a mod. It's not an original product, it's a mod that I've downloaded from our friends at modland.net. Very nice site for, oh well, I get all my mods from there and a few other places, but mostly modland.net. I love that site. It's very friendly. It's got a huge community connected to it, so yeah, I love it. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. So yeah, for I think for using this, it's not really worth the effort, you know, unless you want to really just play old school and whatever. I think you're best off going with a Grimmy. Save up for a proper Grimmy, Tektron 415 that is got a 3-meter work width, and we're going to send that 3-meter over this harvested piece just now, just to get an idea what's happened. Okay guys, let's wait for it to finish. I think I'll do another 2 passes and then we should have enough space. Okay, we're coming to the end of our roughly about 3 meters of harvesting that we've done in this whole time that's gone past, and gee whiskers, you can imagine if you had to harvest this whole field with this tool, it's totally ridiculous. But anyways, we're going to park it aside. But let me just show you, just for interest's sake, if you were to want to use Courseplay on this thing, you can set up a run for it. I think I've already started that. A field edge path is for field 1, and yeah, you can change this to 0.8 meters. Starting location is northeast, okay, and direction will be west. Okay, there you go. Return to headland. We don't need a headland bypass. Okay, so if you do it, just have a look at this. What's happening here? Okay, so how's that for crazy? Oh no, that is totally ridiculous. I mean, this tractor will be worn out before it's finished the field. We'll have to buy a new tractor. Okay, anyways, I'm just joking. anyways. All right, so we've got that. Let me just cancel this. Don't save that. Go in here, chuck that away. All right. Okay, so we've harvested 13,000 liters of potatoes in this whole time that we've been busy here. So I want to just show you, I've already parked a Grimme here. This is what we've harvested. That's the standard 3 meter. You'll see I haven't gone another row, so just to get an idea. And I honestly don't know if it's even gonna harvest, but let's have a look what it does. It's just folding it up, and here we go. Obviously with this Grimme you don't need a to remove the tops, because it does it itself, but because of the other harvesters I want to test, I don't want to lose it, you know. So yeah, we want to see how effective this small harvesters are. But just to give you an idea, look at this. Apparently it's been harvested here, but check how many potatoes we are taking out here. It is totally ridiculous. Look at that. Which just tells me that is a useless machine. You are wasting your time with it, and don't even bother, because I mean the proof is in the pudding, guys. This is how many potatoes we've been missing, you know. So this Grimme actually does a proper job. You can look behind it, it is harvested. With this other machine, I mean, hello guys, it is totally ridiculous. So there you go. That's a good review for you on the Grimme Tektron 415. Very nice piece of equipment. Expensive though, it's 400 grand for this thing if you want to buy it. It's got a working width of, it's 430. It's got a working width of 3 meters, I suppose. Yeah, there it is. Capacity 20,000 liters. So you're going to be running up and down with your tractor like crazy to offload all the potatoes, because yeah, potatoes gives a good yield on your field, so you're going to be very busy harvesting potatoes. Though the prices are not that high, but yeah, it's a very good product to be farming with. It's potatoes. Nice product. I think at the end of the day, if you consider your yield and what you're getting back, I think it's a very good product to farm. Good profit and a good yield. It will be interesting to actually work out, but I'm sure you can work out how it compares to other types of fruit, you know. It will be interesting to work out. I just don't think I'll be doing an exercise like that. It's a big job. Take a field planted full of potatoes, see what you harvest, and then put a field, plant a field of, for instance, maybe canola or wheat or whatever, and do a comparison. You know, is it more profitable to go for potatoes? Although the market makes it very difficult, because the market fluctuates, you know. So yeah, I suppose you have to go on average to see what is your best price on average per product, and then work out what was your best yield, you know, per product. So that will give you an idea of an estimate on what will be best. But I think potatoes is going to be on top of the list, except obviously for things like grapes and tobacco and all the other things that you can these days plant. And also hops. Hops is also a very good yield, profit yielding fruit. Okay, guys, give you an idea there. This Grimme has taken out 8,000 liters more from a field that's already been harvested by this little potato harvester here. So yeah, in my opinion, totally useless using this thing. It just wastes your time. It doesn't harvest all the potatoes, first of all, and it's a struggle because all the specs on it, all the all the things that it uses to actually make the rows, like your XML file is not set up correctly for it. So yeah, I think it's a waste of time, guys. But the Grimy, very nice tool to use. Alright, our next one, obviously in line, will be the Grimy 2-meter one. So let me just go back to my tractor. I'm using the 7R. There it is. So let's quit this boy. Here's the 7R. Nice black puff of smoke coming off there with the start, which is nice to see always. Some realism in the game, you know, which is wonderful. Okay guys, so we've harvested the 3-meter row there. Let us have a look at another setup here. Driving inside. Guys, for the life of me, if anyone can explain to me the logic of a tractor's exhaust pushing out forward when you're driving forward, I've actually never understood the logic of that. In my opinion, which is my humble opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's best for a tractor's exhaust to actually point backwards, you know, away from the cabin. I seriously don't see any reason for it to be pushing gases to the front while you're driving. It doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, a tractor doesn't really drive fast, you know, so I don't think you're going to be too bothered about things like wind pressure from the front. I don't think you'll be driving fast enough. Okay, wonderful. So let's look at the Grimy. This is a 2-meter harvester, and we're going to just see how this thing performs compared to this other harvester. Now you can immediately see that I started wrong on this. It actually goes out to the side of your tractor. So if you start this, you have to actually start it to that side a bit, so that it can, if you can see here, there's a 2-row extractors. So we have to judge these 2 rows probably roughly about there, I think. Right, let's try it again and see. There you go. Is that better? Yes, man, that is perfect. Look at that. It's scooping up all the potatoes. Nice. I must say, I have used this harvester before. This is a nice harvester for small tractors. Very efficient as well. Haven't had any problems with this harvester. This is the one here. It's a 2-row harvester, and it works 2 meters, you know. So yeah, it looks like the planting width for a potato is then 1 meter, not 300 or 400 as I thought earlier on. But anyways, doesn't really matter. You need an 80-watt kilowatt tractor for this, where I'm using the 7R, which is a total overkill. But nearly all your smaller tractors that you can buy, like for instance, what is the Zetor, the Steyr? The Steyr will work on it very nicely. New Holland T5 will work on it definitely. Lindler, that one, it's a little bit bigger, 92, that's also perfect. But I mean, all the small tractors, even the AgroStar, that's a perfect tractor for doing that type of harvesting with. And these are all like 100Ks. JCB, that's going far more over, yes. So yeah, all these small tractors can do it. If you look at your mod tractors, I've got quite a few old tractors, like even this old Farmall, it's got 105 kilowatts. This thing, believe it or not, it's got a straight 6 diesel in it. Quite crazy. But might have been actually petrol as well. You got these old tractors running on paraffin, and you got them actually not, it was power paraffin in the old days that some of these tractors ran on. It's like a sort of a more mixture between fuel, alcohol fuel and diesel. It's power paraffin, which was actually amazing. And they needed a spark plug to run as well, you know. So anyways, the old Farmall 560, 105 as well. yeah, so all these guys definitely will pull that little thing. Yeah, this small old tractors obviously won't. These are old Guldner, Bugger, Hartz, Linder, all these ones, they're way too small for that. Okay guys, anyways, this harvester, very nice for small fields, harvesting small fields potatoes. Very nice capacity on that. Let's just have a quick look. I can't remember the capacity, but it's not much. 9,000 liters. You see, this other one has been mod to 60, but that thing can't carry. No, I can't see it carrying more than, like I said earlier, I thought 15 to 20, but no. If the Grimmy, which is definitely original, goes 9, I can't see this thing more than 5 or 6,000, because it's a 1-row planter, harvester. So yeah, that will definitely be the thing. Okay, look at this. Beautiful, man. Obviously now our thing is full. Needs to be emptied, but we're not going to bother emptying it. I'm just going to stop it here. We've seen it in action, how it actually harvests, and very nice. I know that this harvester does not have any problem working on the map. What I'm just thinking of doing is just to show you, let us just quickly finish this up. Let's put it back there. I should have actually just left it there, man. Just gonna get back in my tracks. There you go. Okay, so let's quickly get a trailer. Let's offload that boy. This way too big. Just want to get to a small tractor. Now I've got another Massey here somewhere. That Fendt will also work. Where is that other Massey of mine? Did I miss it? Here's the one. No, looks like I only have the one. Anyways, let's take the Fendt then. I'll also do some reviews on these tractors. This Fendt Vario, our favorite, it's a 822. It's an awesome tractor, guys. This thing can drive 60 plus k's an hour. Look at that. Very, very nice tractor to speed wise, but I will do a full review on this later on. Here's our small trailer. I quite enjoy this tractor. Ooh, just line up, yeah, nicely. There we go. Taking stuff to the market with a tractor, this thing is ideal. Nice and fast. You will not be sorry. You will not be sorry. This trailer is a bit... This tractor is a bit high for this trailer by the looks of it. Oh, I'm driving over my potatoes. Luckily potatoes grow under the ground, so you can't really destroy the crop by driving over the ground. So it doesn't really matter. There you go. This trailer has got a capacity of I think 15,000 liters, so yeah, it should be like almost 60% full once we've finished off this offloaded this trailer. This harvester. I like this harvester, it's not bad. For small fields this is the way to go. I mean small fields, guys, like 1 or 2 hectares. Nothing bigger than that. If you want to go bigger than that, get the Grimmy Tectron there. It will save you a lot of time, a lot of hassles, and be happy. Alright, back into our 7R. Continue. little bit misaligned there, but it should be alright. Just want to show you when it turns around, it does actually not leave any crops like that other useless, well, I won't say useless, but it's not a good harvester to use because it's not working properly. I'll give a big thumbs down to that harvester, but this one, thumbs up for sure, because it's working properly, you know, no problem with that. Okay, there you go. So if you look behind it, it doesn't leave any potatoes. Great stuff. Okay guys, I think that's about enough for this one. So let us stop it here and park it on the side, and then we'll go on to our bigger ones. Now this is harvesters that's been modified. Now I particularly don't really enjoy modified harvesters unless you want a Jippo, you know, make not really play the game realistic, you know, then these things can really do the job for you. This one, for instance, is the 415, also that's been modified, and it's got a 9 meter, totally ridiculously 9 meter front on it, but you can already see the problem. It's got a 9 meter top remover, and then behind it a 3 meter the standard Tektron bed to remove the potatoes, but unrealistically it actually works the full 9 meter of the top remover, which is totally ridiculous if you think of it. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to, for fun, just going to run this here, and then there you go. You see, it is harvesting the full 9 meters. So for a big field like this, okay, I've intentionally skipped that 2 rows there, but it doesn't really matter. We can send anything over across again. It runs 14 k's an hour, which is good, and it runs 9 meter width, which is ridiculous. You can't harvest potatoes 9 meter wide in real life, you know. Maybe you can, I don't know, I haven't seen a big harvester like that, but yeah, 3 meter, I know. It's a lot of potatoes, guys. I mean, look how fast this thing is filling up. We're already at 15,000 liters. So in real life, you can think how unrealistic it is to harvest 9 meters of potatoes. The equipment, first of all, you will need to, remember, you need to dig about a meter deep, eh? To get, well, probably not a meter, but close to a meter, 800 millimeters maybe, to really dig out all the potatoes. So I don't see any equipment. Yeah, I mean, to dig that deep, you really need, and 9 meters wide, it's gonna be crazy. So yeah, in my opinion, this is for guys that doesn't care about realism, you know. This is probably a good tool to use. Out of all the mods that I've checked, this is the nicest one that if you're not worried about realism, then this is the one to go for. The next one we're going to check, I'm just going to let this one finish this one row, because remember, I'm actually running a farm here, so I don't want to waste my field of potatoes that I've planted, and I've spent a lot of bucks planting these potatoes, believe me. So I don't want to waste it. That's why I will keep all of this and sell it later on. But yeah, for purpose of demonstration, this is the way to go. Alright, so there we go. I've got this whole row harvested. Nice. So there you've seen this boy in action. It drives about, what's that, about 40 k's an hour, yeah, which is fine. Very nice to drive 40 k's an hour. Anything slower than 40 k's on a farm is like really crazy slow, you know. And yeah, I've arranged with this farmer here to to not be bothered that we park all our equipment here for this testing, you know. I've let him know that we are going to be testing equipment today. So he said it's not a problem at all. So yeah, he's not bothered. We can go ahead and go crazy. So our next machine is this one. This is a new mod that I've downloaded today. And believe me or not, but this is a beast of a mod. Look at this thing. It looks like a scorpion, you know. They could have called this thing the Scorpion King. And the working width of this thing, I'll give you an idea. Where's my, it's 20 meters and the capacity is 500. It is actually 5 million liters. I mean, it is, I don't think the guy who made this mod knows how much 5 million liters of potatoes is. I mean, my gosh, does he have any idea? Look at the width of this thing. It is crazy. Sure, look at this. It is amazing. Alright, anyways, let's see this thing in action. And look at it, it's running full speed as well. Now, I want to say, if this thing didn't have such a big tank to store potatoes in, you would have come across one big problem, which I'm going to show to you and highlight to you now. And that's also another thing that I want to highlight. Say for instance your tank was full, say you could fill a field with 5 million liters of potatoes. Let me just get to my tractor first before I keep on talking nonsense. Where is it? My trailer. I think I've missed the trailer. Sorry guys, I'm just going to get to the trailer. There you go. Let's take our truck. This is Lizard. Very nice truck. I enjoy the Lizards. They're nice and fast. Strong as well. I'm going to drive over this field. I hope the guy's not going to recross with me. I don't think he saw me. Okay, let's go. I just want to empty that. Now I want to show you how stupid this is and how unrealistic this is. And I've had the problem on a lot of this modifications there, where you've got this huge big header in front, and now you want to come and offload. So now look at the mission that you have now. Instead of your loading pipe sticking out nicely far enough, you can't get in there. So what you need to do now is actually reverse your truck in, or your tractor and trailer, or whatever you're using. I'm just using this as an example. I know this thing has got a 5 million liter tank, so you won't need to unload. And there you go. You see, so this is now one of the problems with some of these modifications, is practically this header, that this machine isn't designed for a big header like this, you know. Oh my gosh, I just reversed into the machine. You can see I'm not really too happy driving with a keyboard. But anyways, let's try and get in there. Can't get it to... Oh sorry, I'm empty. I didn't realize. Oh my word, you're probably laughing your backside off. Okay, anyways, let's have a look. Let's just let this thing finish, and I'll show you another problem with these mods which I found. So now you're heading away here 40 k's an hour, and whenever the thing is full, not on this particular one, but whenever the thing is full, look at what happens when you stop. You see, it takes forever to stop because it's running at such a ridiculously harvesting speed that you're gonna miss a lot of your crops. And that I found with a lot of these other headers for your harvesters, that is modded to run at ridiculous speeds like this. You can't harvest potatoes at this speed anyway. But yeah, for a guy that's not worried about realism, yeah, it is probably big fun, and yeah, you can harvest this whole field in a few minutes with this huge thing. So look at this thing when it's going to stop now. You'll see now all that was overrun if the thing was full. Alright, so anyways guys, I'm not going to do any more reviewing on this. I think we've made the point of how crazy this is. What I'll do in my own time is I'll come and empty them all and then just finish harvesting this whole field. But yeah, the top remover can carry on. Well, I won't actually need the top remover anymore. But guys, that is now what just my opinion, you know, on potato harvesting, and I'll give you some highlights on what is good and what is not. I'm sure there's some other machines out there as well, equipment that you can get, but yeah, this is just a Grimme that comes standard with the pack, you know, with the Farming Simulator 17, and also one or two mods. And what I think about them, personally, I don't really like them. I just like the realistic stuff, you know. That's just who I am. I'm a realistic guy, so I like realistic stuff. To me, this is totally ridiculous. Look at this ridiculous big top remover on a 3-meter machine. And it actually removes 20 meters. Anyways guys, this is Farmer Bob, and thank you so much for joining and having fun with me. If you like this video, give it a like. If not, give it a thumbs down. Whatever you feel like. You guys have been great, so thanks a lot. Take care, man. Until next time.